This game has been on a downward spiral ever since the re-release. Players were stuck on just 1 out of 4 existing maps. And to make things worse, the performance issues were incredibly frustrating. In just 1 month, the game lost around 60% of its player base. If you want to know more about what caused this steep decline, I've made 2 videos that break down all the problems in detail. But if you look at the player charts now, there is one specific event that caused a spike in the player count. To be exact, it increased about 50%. What happened here? And what does a famous celebrity have to do with all of it? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So grab some lasagna and enjoy the video. If you didn't guess already from the thumbnail, the celebrity we're gonna talk about is none other than Post Malone, the popular American singer that is known for his pop, hip-hop or R&B music. But what does he have to do with Showdown? Did they add his music into the game and that increased the player count? Of course not. This is not Fortnite, man. Post Malone is actually a big fan of FPS games. He even collaborated with Apex Legends in November 2023. But get this, during that event, Apex lost 100,000 players. Yeah, not so great. So when Showdown announced a Post Malone event, many players, including me, were worried. Things didn't start off great either. Crytek announced a ghost face skin just before the event, and it triggered a major backlash in the community. A lot of players feared that the game would go down the same path as many other AAA games, selling out and losing its core identity. And then came the infamous Post Malone interview, where he just showed that he has almost zero experience with the game.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this a go. And then I used Necro for the first time, and I was like, do not stab the fire guy.
What's a mechanic or an addition to the game that you'd like to see that we don't have?
We talked I like leaning. I've always said lean. All right, here's my pitch. If you put a guitar as an equipment slot, it does nothing but make noise constantly, and then you're running to extract playing the guitar. Costs $1,000 melee with it, and it gets slowly more detuned and cracked over time. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
We'll add it to the list. Favorite feature or update that we've added since you've been playing?
Making every ammo type available off the rip. Thank you.
Don't get me wrong, I like Post Malone and his music, but seeing him partner with Showdown definitely made people nervous. It's December 12th, 2024, and the Post Malone event finally goes live. And guess what? It's actually amazing! Crytek completely reworked how events function in the game, and very small quality of life improvements made a huge difference in the game. First off, the event traits. Hunt events usually include 3 event-specific traits, tailored to different playstyles. The problem? Usually 1 out of the 3 is just way better than the others. But this time, all 3 were viable, and you could even upgrade the chosen trait. Here's a quick breakdown of all the event traits. The first one was Blade Mancer. This one made you retrieve ammo using Dark Sight, and the upgraded version called Crack Shot reduced crosshair spread on all weapons. The second one was called Shadow Crush. It made it possible to damage or kill AI using Dark Sight, and the upgraded trait called Corpse Seer made you gain Dark Sight after looting a downed hunter, and this trait has been added before they made it visible on the map when you get Dark Sight. And the third event trait is called Poltergeist. It made you interact with doors, horses, sound traps, etc. using Dark Sight. And the upgraded trait is called Blast Sense, which made you see loud sounds like gunshots or explosions in Dark Sight, so you could better pinpoint where the shots are coming from. Sounds like a skill issue to me, but still a cool trait, right? And let me tell you, if you just take a look at all the traits I just listed, you will quickly realize those event traits cover all playstyles that are in the game. And the best thing, this design decision carried over into future events, which is just amazing. And on top of that, they added a massive event zone where you can spend your event points. The theme was Big Murder Circus. It was teased before the launch, and on top of that, AI enemies like grunts were reskinned as zombie clowns. And on top of that, they introduced a new small mini-boss called Ursa Morta. Let me tell you, this mini-boss was so good that they made it a permanent addition to the game with the latest Disale event. And the Season Pass, easily the best Season Pass this game has ever since it came out. From skins to inspect animations, everything just hit the mark. I still use them today, and that means a lot coming from someone who usually only uses OG skins from 2019. So overall, the event was just a lot of fun. But there was a dark side. Let's not pretend the event was perfect. There were real problems. First off, there were the performance issues. If you see my last two videos, you know how bad the performance was after the 1896 update. And let me tell you, somehow it got even worse with the Post Malone event. A friend of mine couldn't even start the game. And unfortunately, during that time, Crytek had a big layoff. 15% of all Crytek employees were laid off. I personally work in tech too, and I just hope that everyone who got laid off landed back on their feet. Then there were the bugs. This one was arguably the biggest issue from this event. Game-breaking bugs that were around the game since the re-release still have not been fixed. And the worst of it all, players started feeling like Crytek was more focused on making money than improving their game. Then there was missing content. Like I said in the start, the game was still missing a lot of content from before the re-release. Fan favorite map like the Salle, still not back. Instead, we got Lost in Delta, which is, let's say, not a fan favorite. And old UI features and quality of life elements, still gone. That was just very annoying for many people playing the game back then. Then they updated one trait for solos, Lightfoot, which got a massive buff during the event. The trait said players make reduced noise when crouched. Except now, solos made zero sound when crouching. And Hunt Showdown is a game that lives and breathes through its sound design. There is no other way to phrase it. It's just plain stupid. And let me tell you something, even a person like Post Malone, I feel like has almost zero experience with the game, even he said that it's stupid.
It's so awesome, and once you nail it, you feel so good because you're walking around the woods and you're like, wait, you know you hear dudes.
Yeah.
And you know where they are.
Then there was one weapon introduction, the Maynard Silencer. To start it off, I hate this weapon. Camping in bushes with silenced weapons has always been a problem in Hunt Showdown. So what does Crytek do? They add a silenced sniper with a scope. It is basically a better Springfield with more damage, silenced, bleeding ammo, and very far bullet drop. It became the go-to weapon for bush campers. And just like revive bolts were a mistake in the game, and those have been removed, this weapon should be removed too. Period. And on top of that, there was an event exclusive weapon, the Shredder. Oh man, this one was just wild. At launch, it only cost 5 out of 9 pledge marks. It had frag blades and, get this, homing. You heard me right. Homing. Hunt Showdown, a game known for its high skill ceiling, where you can succeed so good if you have good aim. Introduced a weapon that had homing. And the funniest thing, it was so broken that Crytek had to drop an emergency patch, which made the weapon completely unplayable afterwards. But yeah, looking back, I still think it was the best event Hunt Showdown ever had. Yes, it had its fair share of issues, but let's be real. What game today has a perfect release? This event brought us a new AI mini-boss, fun cosmetics, cool weapons like the 1865 carbine, and a brand new game mode called Bounty Clash. And for me, it brought back the fun that I had with the game before the 1896 update. As we say in Germany, manchmal muss man einen Schritt nach hinten gehen und Anlauf nehmen, um weiter nach vorne zu kommen. Which translates to, sometimes you have to take a step back and gather momentum to take the leap forward.